Have you ever wondered why the top 1% of people seem to move through life like they VA unlocked a secret code? Like there's an invisible edge they carry with them. A rhythm, a certainty, a sense of control over their day that most people don't even come close to. It's not just money. It's not just connections. It's not even talent. It starts before the sun rises, long before the noise of the world creeps in. Before emails flood inboxes or social media starts screaming for attention, the real difference is in the first hour of the day. The top 1% don't just wake up. They rise with purpose, with precision, with intention. And that morning routine, simple as it sounds, is one of the most powerful weapons in their arsenal. If you want to change your life, stop looking at what successful people do once they've made it. Start looking at what they do before the world even notices they're awake. Because success doesn't begin at the top of the mountain. It begins in the quiet, disciplined moments when nobody's watching. This is what the top 1% do every single morning. They don't hit snooze, ever. The snooze button is the first negotiation of the day, and the top 1% never negotiate with weakness. When the alarm goes off, they get up, not because they feel like it, but because they've trained their mind to win the first battle. Getting out of bed on the first ring is more than a habit. It's a declaration. It's a mindset that says, I run my day. My day doesn't run me. They also don't start the day reactive. No jumping into emails, no scrolling through feeds, no responding to the chaos of the outside world. The top 1% start inward. They begin by checking in with themselves. That might be meditation, breath work, prayer, or simply sitting in silence. But the goal is the same. Create clarity before consumption. Ground themselves before the whirlwind begins. Because they know that how you start is how you continue. If you begin frantic, you'll stay frantic. But if you begin with calm focus, you carry that energy into every task, every decision. Next, they move. The top 1% use the morning to activate their body, not just their brain. Whether it's stretching, a workout, yoga, or even a walk in the fresh air, they understand that the body is the vessel for performance. Energy doesn't just appear, it's generated. And moving in the morning isn't just about fitness, it's about telling the body, we're alive, we're engaged, we're ready. While most people reach for their phones, the top 1% reach for their minds. They feed their brain before breakfast. That could be reading a chapter of a book, listening to an educational podcast, journaling, or studying something that sharpens their skills. Every day is a chance to learn, and they don't waste that window, because they know the brain is most absorbent in the first few hours. They use that time to plant seeds that grow into insights, ideas, and execution throughout the day. And perhaps one of the most powerful things they do, they plan. Not just what's on the calendar. They set intentions. They identify their top priorities. Not 10 things, not a to-do list a mile long. Just the few crucial things that move the needle. The things that matter. Because busy doesn't mean productive. The top 1% are masters of doing what matters most, not what screams loudest. They understand that if you don't set your priorities, someone else will. Gratitude is another secret weapon. Simple, but underestimated. The top performers don't just chase achievement, they ground themselves in appreciation. Every morning they find something to be grateful for, not because life is perfect, but because gratitude is the lens that sharpens focus. It resets the mind from scarcity to abundance. And from that place, they approach the day with power, not pressure. With clarity, not clutter. Nutrition matters too. The top 1% don't just eat to fill up. They fuel with intention. Whether it's a clean breakfast, hydration, or supplements, they treat their body like an asset, not an afterthought. They understand that mental clarity and physical health are tightly linked. So they don't put garbage in their engine and expect it to run like a machine. Let's talk mindset. Every morning, the top 1% revisit their goals. Not casually. It's not someday, somehow goals. Concrete, written, visible. They look at their vision. They remind themselves of what they're building, who they want to become, and why it matters. Because motivation fades, purpose, when consistently reinforced, becomes unstoppable. That morning reminder is a mental compass. It prevents distraction. It keeps their decisions aligned with their values. And here's something most people overlook. The top 1% protect their mornings. They don't let the outside world dictate how their day begins. They don't let meetings, phone calls, or other people's agendas invade that sacred window. They create space for mastery, for self-leadership, because the first hour isn't just a routine, it's a ritual. And rituals create identity. If you study world-class athletes, CEOs, artists, and creators, you'll notice the pattern. They don't all do the same exact things, but they all have structure, they all have intention, and they all build momentum before the rest of the world even shows up. It's not about copying someone else's checklist. It's about finding the practices that elevate your energy, clarify your mind, and align your day. Now here's the truth most won't admit. Mornings aren't magic by default. They're a choice. You won't always feel like doing the right thing when the alarm goes off. You won't always feel inspired to journal, meditate, or work out. But the top 1% don't wait for motivation. They build systems that carry them through the resistance. They don't rely on feeling ready. They rely on being disciplined, and that's what sets them apart. Because once you've won the morning, you've already won the day. The momentum you build in that first hour spills over into everything else. It affects how you communicate, how you lead, how you solve problems, and how you stay grounded when challenges hit. And when you win enough mornings, you start winning weeks, then months, then years, till eventually you wake up one day and realize you've built a life most people only dream about. But it didn't start with luck. It started with a decision to rise early, act with purpose, and master the quiet hours when no one's watching. A decision to stop living on autopilot and start designing a life with intention. So if you're serious about leveling up, don't start with a massive life overhaul. Start with your morning. Audit it. Own it. Protect it like your future depends on it, because it does. Build habits that reflect the person you want to become, not the mood you're currently in. Become someone the top 1% would recognize. Not for your status, but for your standards. This is what the top 1% do every morning, not for show, not for hype, but because they understand one of life's deepest truths. Success doesn't come to those who wait, comes to those who prepare, who rise, who move before the rest of the world even blinks. The good news that can be you, starting tomorrow, starting now, starting with one morning done right. Your future is shaped before breakfast, so make every morning count.